It's Thursday, December 13th. I'm John Manchester, and this is Evening Update. The Ministry of Children and Family Development admits vicarious liability for the actions of a Colonus social worker accused of stealing money from vulnerable youth in his care. The ministry filed its response Thursday to a court action by the public guardian and trustee involving former Colonus social worker Robert Riley Saunders. The document states the province admits Mr. Saunders was negligent, defalcated and converted the plaintiff's funds, committed misfeasance in public office, fraud and breached fiduciary duties. A bomb scare in Penticton and beyond today. A threatening email prompted a heavy police presence and evacuations. And it was soon learned threats were made across North America. Castanet's Colin Dacre has more.
3 Penticton car dealerships were evacuated this morning after receiving bomb threats over email. Police say Penticton Honda, Penticton Hyundai, and Skaha Ford all received anonymous bomb threats Thursday morning.
It isn't specific. The buildings were evacuated and we've advised the neighboring residents of the situation. They're not being evacuated at this time, but they're being advised to make that choice on their own. We're waiting a dog that can detect explosives who's just arriving on scene to clear the buildings. As this was unfolding and we were in the middle of evacuating these businesses, we received reports from Vernon, also from Kamloops, and as it's progressed on, we've received reports province-wide that there's been a similar threats made.
The dealerships say the threatening email demanded Bitcoin payment. Similar threats were sent to businesses across North America, with police departments in New York and Calgary also dealing with similar calls. By about 1 o'clock, the bomb dog had cleared the dealership and employees were allowed back inside. For Castanet in Penticton, I'm Colin Dacre.
Kelowna City Council spent the day debating its 2019 budget. By mid-afternoon, Council had arrived at a tax increase of 4.43%, with the addition of 1 additional RCMP position. Council was also discussing a planned 1.95% infrastructure tax. If all the items up for review are added, the overall tax increase could be 4.58%. A special public avalanche warning has been issued for recreational backcountry users now through the weekend. The heightened avalanche danger applies to most of the southern interior mountain ranges, as well as some coastal and Vancouver Island areas. We have a map of those areas on castanet.net. Less than 2 months after it closed, Kelowna's Greyhound station is sold for $5.25 million. The Enterprise Way lot was bought by Kelowna Chrysler, which is across the street. Greyhound ceased operations in Western Canada on October 31st. The last bus pulled out of Kelowna's Greyhound depot at 5:30 p.m. on Halloween night. Kelowna's Best Buy Electronics was hit by a swarm of thieves on Wednesday. RCMP say a group of up to 6 people grabbed various electronics and ran off. 2 other businesses at Orchard Park Shopping Centre were also hit. Witnesses reported the suspects were last seen at an apartment building on nearby Durnan Road. It's believed thousands of dollars worth of tablets and cell phones were stolen. Curtis Sagman was given an absolute discharge after pleading guilty to mischief in Vernon Court today. Sagman was accused of setting a homemade spike belt on Salmon River Road near Falkland. Castanet's Darren Hanshew has more from Vernon.
Curtis Wayne Sagman entered a guilty plea to a mischief charge in court today and was given an absolute discharge. But that's hardly the end of his legal worries, as he's facing numerous charges of alleged violent acts against women. And every time Sagman appears inside the court, activists are outside protesting violence against women.
We know that the human remains were found where Sagman lived, and although there are no charges that tie Sagman to the human remains of Tracy General, it continues to be important to raise the awareness of violence that has occurred. There are answers outstanding in Tracy's death that need to be called forward for justice.
It was time to tear up the mortgage in Penticton Thursday as the City of Penticton announced it has fully paid off its debt on the South Okanagan Events Centre. Completed in 2008 at a total cost of $81.2 million, The SOEC was funded by a $39.2 million loan from the Municipal Finance Authority of BC, in addition to $22.5 million from the provincial government, $13.9 million from city reserves, and $5.6 million from other sources. Okanagan weather, a mixed bag tomorrow, but mostly sunny skies on Saturday, temperatures in the single digits. Coming up, the Central Okanagan Hospice Society shares how it has moved forward since it was defrauded of almost $200,000. For Castanet News, I'm John Manchester.